Back again with the latest transfer news. Here to talk about Riccardo Calafiori. The terms have been agreed according to reports. He has agreed to join Arsenal. The only thing remaining is the Arsenal and Bologna to agree on a fee. And Bologna have actually done something today that kind of basically confirms that he's definitely going to leave, and that is signing a left-sided player. So let's cover all that. Let's start with what Fabrizio Romano reported a couple of hours ago. Riccardo Calafiori, Mikel Arteta approved Italian defender, part of 3 defender target list. Arsenal have also good relationship with Bologna. After Tomiyasu deal, request is around 50 million euros. Still no formal bid. Chelsea would offer players as part of the deal. So it's only Arsenal and Chelsea remaining. But let's start with the first part of that. Mikel Arteta approved Italian defender, part of 3 defender list. So very interesting. It seems like we were going for 3 different defenders. I'm assuming one of them is Hato, and then one of them is Calafiori. Probably the other one is Kadioglu. Very, very tough to know. It could be Branthwaite. It's very tough to know who it was. But is being given the green light. Basically, I think it was about the one that is easier to do. We have a good relationship with Bologna. They're very accepted that he's going to leave. And it's not like 80, 90 million pounds or anything like that. It's going to cost us around 50 million euros. You're going to talk about that one as well. And I think this one, you're already seeing it quickly moving right after the Euros, which means like maybe if Italy were eliminated early, you would have seen this one happening maybe a week ago or 2 weeks ago. But the moment they've been eliminated, you're already starting to see movement. Bologna, as I said, Bologna have just signed a left-sided defender. He used to play for Betis, and I think Barcelona, his name is Juan Miranda. He's a left-sided defender, so I think that's pretty much confirmed. They've actually announced him, I think, today. So that's pretty much it confirms that he's definitely going to leave Bologna. So it could be a quick, very, very quick deal to do. The update on the money. Now, according to Court Offside, Arsenal are preparing a bid in the region of 50 million euros to 55 million euros. Now, I don't know if this is going to be one of those where we are going to make a 50 million euro bid and then Bologna reject it, and then we have to go back again with another bid, or another team comes in for him. I don't know if that is going to be the case. The fact is, he's a very good player. I think he's worth around that his age and everything, I think is definitely worth that kind of money. So for 50 million euros, I think that suits him. Now, I think they're going to accept it. Now, the other thing is that they're going to give half of that money to his previous club, Basel. So they have to try and make some profit on him. Either way, I think they're making some profit. They signed him for way less than 10 million, euros. So they're going to make a profit on him either way. They're definitely going to make a profit on him. So even if they sell him for 40 million euros, 50 million euros, and they give away half of it to Basel, they're still making a good like 15, 20 million profit. Although it depends. Now, I think the player wants to move. The player's already agreed to moving away from Bologna. I think Bologna are happy to sell him, but it depends on a lot of factors. Could he decide to, I'm going to stay? Could Bologna decide, listen, if you stay for another season, we promise you're going to sell in next season. If you have a better season and, perform in the Champions League now than the Champions League, you could go next season for 70, 80 million euros. That could be the case as well. But I think they're really excited they're going to sell him. I think the player is okay to move on. So that leaves a couple of days ago, it was Arsenal, PSG, Leverkusen, Chelsea, Juventus all wanting him. Now it seems like it's Arsenal and Chelsea. Now, Chelsea, as people say, Chelsea always a threat to every single signing that we're trying to make. They try to hijack it. And according to this, they're looking to offer players. According to Fabrizio, Chelsea are looking to offer players in exchange. So I don't know. Could they say, okay, you give us Calafiori, will give you Chilwell? That could happen. Now, do we have players to offer? I mean, Kiwi has been linked to the move to Juventus. Instead of giving Juventus the player, if he has to go to Italy, can we use him as part of the deal? And maybe we can only pay 15 million euros plus Kiwi. That would be, I think, good business. Personally, I wanted Kiwi to stay, but I don't know if we really want this player. You think he's a very, very good player. As we've gone through his stats, he's a very, very good player. I think he'll definitely improve our defense. And if we can you can have that in terms of age, he's a player that can serve you for 5-6 years consecutively, starting from now. So it depends. If Kivio has to leave, then I'd rather use him as part of the deal for to get Calafiori to the team. So Chelsea can probably offer likes of Chalobah, the likes of Chilwell. So that could be a problem. But it depends. Who does he really want to go to? Is it Arsenal? Is it is it Chelsea? Now, Fabrizio said Arsenal have presented long-term proposal to Riccardo Calafiori, and the starting players open to joining Arsenal if they can agree terms with Bologna. Chelsea are still there. Arsenal and Chelsea are still only the two teams remaining. And then I think there is this one as well. I read that one as well already, so let's get to this one. Juventus are not in talks to sign Riccardo Calafiori. The deal is currently off following Bologna's decision to not sell to their rivals. Calafiori's agent, Lucci, is now working on the best solution for the player. Now, I think it's now up to the player, the agent, to pick. I think I can see Arsenal and Chelsea offering the same, and then in terms of wages, probably the same. I think it will be up to the player. Does he want to go to Arsenal, move to a Champions League team that is going to be competing for the league next season, hopefully, or does he feel like the Chelsea project also suits him? Where does he feel he's going to get more game time? Who does he feel is going to, improve him more in terms of player, Maresca or Arteta? I've just thought about that right now. I think Maresca is Italian, right? So that could be a case as well. Does he prefer going to the Italian manager, the new manager at Chelsea? Does he feel like that project is not too settled? He feels like Arsenal is a settled project. He can come to Arsenal. All that could happen. He has to think about all those factors. He has to think probably about how much is getting paid per week. The agent will have all in terms of talking to him. But the other things that are standing out for us is we are in the Champions League. We can tell him you're definitely going to play left back, especially if Kivio leaves. We can offer him, a settled project at Arsenal. And on top of that, we have a very good relationship with Bologna. So that could really help us having that good relationship with Bologna. As Fabrizio says in the second paragraph, Arsenal also have a good relationship with Bologna after Tomiyasu deal. That one was done very, very quickly and finished that. And if you can offer them a player as well, that can really help. And it's surprising that you're going to get a defender fast, but you talked about that in the live stream. As long as the defender is going to bring in more quality and, you can move from 18 clean sheets to 24 clean sheets or something, and it's going to improve our attacking play and improve our defensive play. As you can see from his stats from Bologna last season, he's a player who can do both sides of the game. He can get the assist, the chances created. He's good at passing, keeping the ball. We love keeping possession and dominating the ball most of the game. Is good at defending when called upon, aerial duels, interception. There's actually a video I've seen of him marking Osimhen, Napoli against Bologna, and he did some incredible work against him. So, maybe for Calafiori joins Arsenal, Osimhen will be like, nah, I don't want to play against Calafiori anymore. I want to play with him. Let me now join Arsenal. So this could be a good deal at that age, and he's also gone and performed for Italy at the Euros. I think this would be a very, very good signing. So that is the fee. I think it's going to be developing very, very quickly. I think by tomorrow we'll hear more news. Let's hope for here we go from Fabrizio, David Ornstein bomb right away, maybe even tonight, and hear that, okay, this is done. Arsenal ahead of Chelsea. If Chelsea have pulled out, because Juventus already pulled out, so it's only us and Chelsea, as Fabrizio has confirmed. There was PSG, Leverkusen, and those teams before, PSG, Leverkusen, I've forgotten the other one. I think it's Chelsea. I was thinking, listen, maybe the only worry for me would have been teams from Italy, like a Juventus or an AC Milan. If you wanted to just stay in Italy and go to a different team in Italy, that could have happened. So let's see how that one develops. But great news to hear. We are finally getting deals done. Raya was signed. Looks like Lokong is about to leave. We are hearing reports about players potentially leaving, and of course, Calafiori potentially joining. Speaking of players who could leave, let's go to the news on Smith Rowe. According to reports on Smith Rowe from Sam Dean, as revealed by the Telegraph Sport last month, Fulham have made Arsenal midfielder Emil Smith Rowe one of their summer transfer priorities and are keen to move for the 23-year-old in this window. So Fulham are still keen on him. We had before that Aston Villa want him, the likes of Crystal Palace want him. Personally, want Smith Rowe to stay, but if you want to get him, pay that 5 to 40 million, and then we can give you the player, because we are tired of also selling players for 10 million. Every other team is asking for 50, 60 million for their players. Smith Rowe is a very good international. He is very young. He's only 23 years of age. He's had a very good Premier League season before. Scored big goals for us in the Premier League 2-3 seasons ago. He has been an England international. He's played games for England before the national team. So he's a very good player. Versatile, can play for you as a number 10, as a number 8, as a left winger. His best came for us at left wing. He can score goals during his best of games, and he can get assists for you. So it's a very good player, and people want English players, especially the England teams. It's not easy to get English players like this, and you think you have to have a certain number of England players, and Smith Rowe could be that. So if you're going to sell him, you have to sell him for a significant fee, not 10 million or 12 million or 30 million or something like that. No, if you want him, you have to pay some good money for him, because if you spend the money on Calafiori and spend money on a striker, then the players who are leaving, the likes of Lokonga and any of these three, let's hope we get significant money for them, and then we move on. Because look at a team like Chelsea, they could easily sell Gallagher for 50 million, Broja for 30 million. They've signed Dewsbury Hall for 30 million. They've gotten like 22 million for Mari Hutchinson. They're going to keep like I think they're keeping like 18 of that and giving us like 3 or 4 million. They're making this, they're balancing it well. So I think we also need to do the same. If we've bought Osimhen for 90 million, and then you look at the players who sold, you're like, okay, we sold Nketiah for 30 million. We got 22 million for Nelson. That is okay. That's not too much damage. Actually, most of the money that you spend just comes from the players that you sold. That would be great. So for Emil Smith Rowe, for me, I wouldn't want to sell him, but if we have to, it has to be more than 30 million for sure, not 15 or 16 million. So Fulham want him, Palace want him, Aston Villa want him. I think there's another team that want him. Let's see how that one develops. Chido Obi. A lot of you have been asking about Chido Obi, and Fabrizio has another update this time on Chido Obi. According to reports on him, I understand Arsenal have now improved their offer to Chido Obi, Martin, to keep him at the club. Arteta also pushing for him to stay. No agreement yet as pathway is key for Chido. Players still exploring bids from FC Bayern, Dortmund, and more before deciding. Now, the thing with him, I'd absolutely love to keep him. Remember when the news broke out that he could end up leaving and Bayern wanted him? It was a problem at first, and it was a problem for me as well, because he had scored a lot of goals last season for the under 18s and all the other academy teams. He had done very, very well for us. Like not 1 or 2 goals. Like he's having games where he's scoring 9 goals, 6 goals against top teams. Got a hat-trick on his debut, I think, against Southampton. Like his numbers are incredible. So getting a talent like this is not easy. Like in the next 2 years, he could be, right in your squad and becoming a member of your squad. He'd be very, very good for you. So you don't want to lose them that easily. Now, Bayern wanted him, and I was thinking, listen, I'm not 100% sure he's going to stay, because one thing that we need to know, unlike the other youngsters that we have in the team, Chido Obi wasn't really an Arsenal player. We got him from somewhere different. So it's not like, I don't think he's like Arsenal blood, like the ones who've been here from like 5 years old, 6 years old. So if a team like Real Madrid or Bayern came in for him, I think it would be easier for him to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to move on. The other thing I was thinking is it his agent and people like that trying to, get him more money, or trying to get a fast team deal pretty soon, and trying to push the team to get him a deal, because his numbers have been incredible. He broke a record last season. He scored more than 30 goals for the academy teams, and no one else has ever done that before. His numbers are incredible. It's not easy getting a talent like this. So when you get a talent like this, right, you need to get it done very, very quickly. So that's latest on Chido Obi from Fabrizio. Arsenal are going to make an improved offer. I don't know what the improved offer is going to be. I don't know if it's in terms of, I don't even think he signed a professional contract yet, so I don't know what it's going to be, or if they're going to give him a professional contract soon. Pathway is key. Now, a lot of players, a lot of youngsters, the likes of Dewberry and Walters and Hutchinson, most of those players have left and said, there's no clear pathway, because you're now really, buying players, and we have like 18 players ahead of them, which I don't mind. Listen, everyone wants to get a striker. No one is saying let's get Chido Obi to start for us next season. So Chido Obi would look at that like, okay, if Jesus is there, Havertz is there, the new striker is there, why am I going to play even after 1 year, 2 years? So the clear pathway, I don't know, maybe you can promise him the next 2 years are going to be part of the team. Maybe this season he can make an appearance in the Carabao Cup, or an appearance or 2. You are going to get your opportunities. Maybe you can do that. But Bayern, Dortmund, and other teams that are looking at him, it's not going to be easy to keep him. Let's see how this one develops. So that's the latest on Chido Obi, the latest on Smith Rowe, and the latest on Calafiori. We are starting to see this getting done this month. I'm sure we'll see a lot of deals, because right before preseason, we tried to get most of our deals done before preseason, and we're still waiting to hear the latest on Partey, on Jesus, on Zinchenko, on Nelson, on Nketiah, on Ramsdale, on Smith Rowe, on Calafiori, on Osimhen, on Gyökeres, on Nico Williams. Like, there's so many players waiting to hear what the latest is about them. But that's the latest on this one. Terms agreed with Calafiori. Let's hope this deal gets done very quickly, and you can finally celebrate a second signing of the transfer window, and you can focus on other things. And let me know, how much would you be willing to pay for for Calafiori. Do you think he's worth that 50 million euros, or do you think that's around 42 million pounds or something? Or do you think we need to be spending that money elsewhere and not focusing on this one? I'm okay with getting a defender like this. If it's an opportunity, go and get them. You don't have to. The opportunities like this don't come always. A defender who can defend, a defender who can also attack, a defender who can do numerous things, and is of that age. And you've seen him performing for Italy as well. I think you go and get it done. You don't let it. You don't let him go to like a Chelsea. I think if he goes to a team like a Chelsea, he will improve them. But Chelsea also have a couple of things going for them. They can offer players in exchange. I think we can do that as well. And on top of that, they've gotten a new manager who might have connections with the player. Who knows? But we have a good relationship with Bologna. Let's hope that one develops well. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the